Hey, it's Amani. Just wanted to make a small update video. Thinking back on the mind simping video. Because I think I was a bit weird. I don't know. I got a bit too excited. And, I think the video was worthwhile, but, I don't know. I think it's better to make a video saying how I think I messed up than having to address it later. I think I was a bit creepy. I think so. So, the channel I mentioned, I didn't say the name, but the channel I mentioned in the mind simping video, I left comments and I genuinely was just really curious about how they came to their ideas, and I feel isolated most of the time. It's just it feels like there's a whole world of people doing things out there, and I'm just kind of here. And to find someone who thinks so deeply about things, about the world, and has such a unique perspective, even if I don't agree with it, it was just so, for lack of a better word, exciting. It was interesting. And I was mystified and blown away, and I think I got a bit carried away, and it came off as creepy in the comments. I'm not gonna delete the comments, because I said what I said, and I'm not gonna try and delete the things I did. I'm just gonna apologize for them, when it comes to me, because I think that's important, and to make this video a little bit more meaningful and to add value, I think that people should apologize publicly for what they do. I feel like we don't learn that lesson very much as content creators. It seems like most of the examples you see content creators messing up is doing something awful and then being called out and then not apologizing. Or their apology is terrible and it misdirects from everything, and it just goes to show that they have zero respect for their audience and for the truth. And I know it doesn't mean very much for someone who barely has an audience to begin with. It doesn't really mean very much for me to apologize for something that no one is holding me accountable for, but I think that's when it matters even more, when no one expects you to apologize, when I could just leave well enough alone. I think that's when it's important to say something. It really wasn't my best moment, and I didn't mean to be. It didn't mean to be weird, but I wasn't fishing for this person's identity or anything. It's just when you're someone who thinks about things very deeply, and it doesn't feel like the world has enough space for your ideas. You're just not surrounded by the right people. You're not in the right place. You kind of turn your mind off, and you just try to live spontaneously, and you try to just be present and be everything all at once and just be wild and free. And you kind of forget that part of yourself that's more structured and more logical. And then when you see someone who has this big ambition, when you see someone who's really smart, who puts together their words very well, and it's inspiring. And I haven't been inspired by someone else's ideas in a very long time. Not that I agree with them, I just want to clarify, but I'm sure everyone can relate to the feeling of being alone. And in a sense, when you feel like you think differently than everyone else, whether that be smarter or dumber or just different in some sort of way, you feel like people just don't understand you. When you see someone who just thinks a certain way that just feels more deep and you resonates with you, then it feels like you're not the only one on this island. There's someone else who's on an island as well that looks a lot like yours, and you finally see something in the distance. And I guess that's weird in the context of someone talking about someone I don't really know, but that's really what this video is about. It came off as really weird. I made comments that came off as really weird and fishy. I don't know. I just wanted to make a video about it because it's been on my mind, and I don't know. I've been weird recently. Anyway, that's pretty much it.